Marcus Reed wiped his oil-stained hands on his work jeans and surveyed the quiet garage. At 42, he'd grown accustomed to the solitude of his small auto repair shop on Maple Street. The afternoon sun filtered through the open bay door, casting long shadows across the concrete floor. He was bent over an engine when he heard it. Small footsteps, hesitant and shuffling. Marcus looked up to find a little girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, standing at the entrance. She had blonde curls that caught the sunlight and wore a gray t-shirt smudged with dirt. Her blue bicycle lay on its side behind her, one training wheel bent at an awkward angle. "Hi there," Marcus said softly, setting down his wrench. "Looks like you've got some trouble with your bike." The girl nodded, her lower lip trembling slightly. I tried to ride without the training wheels. My dad said I could do it, but—" Her voice trailed off. Marcus noticed the wobble in her chin and recognized that particular look of disappointment. He'd seen it in the mirror often enough during his own childhood. "Well," he said, walking over slowly, "training wheels are tricky things. Sometimes they get in the way more than they help. What's your name?" "Emma," she said quietly. "Nice to meet you, Emma. I'm Marcus." He knelt down beside the bicycle, examining the bent metal. "You know what? I think we can fix this. But more than that, I think we can help you learn to ride without these training wheels altogether. Would you like that?" Emma's eyes widened. "Really, you'd help me?" "Of course," Marcus said with a gentle smile. "That's what neighbors do." What Marcus didn't notice was the woman standing across the street, partially hidden behind an oak tree. Catherine Morrison, dressed in an elegant beige coat and tan boots, watched the scene unfold with careful attention. Her blonde hair framed a face that carried both strength and unexpected vulnerability. She'd been following Emma at a distance, as she often did these days. The divorce had been finalized 6 months ago, and shared custody meant learning to let go, even when every instinct screamed to hover closer. But something about this moment held her still. Marcus had moved to retrieve a toolbox, speaking to Emma in low, patient tones. "First thing about fixing anything," he was saying, "is understanding how it works. See these bolts here? They hold the training wheels on. But before we take them off, let me show you something." He sat down on an overturned crate, and Emma settled beside him, her small frame relaxed now. "My dad used to tell me," Marcus continued, his voice carrying the weight of memory, "that everybody falls. That's not the important part. The important part is getting back up and trying again. He taught me to fix cars in a garage just like this one." He paused, his eyes distant for a moment. "He's been gone 5 years now, but I think about his lessons every single day." Emma listened with the intense focus that only children possess. "Were you scared?" "When you were learning?" "Terrified," Marcus admitted with a soft chuckle. "But you know what I learned? Being scared just means you're about to do something brave." Catherine felt something tighten in her chest. She'd spent the last year drowning in corporate meetings and quarterly reports, building Morrison Technologies into a powerhouse. She'd provided everything for Emma, everything except perhaps the simple gift of patience that this stranger was now offering. Over the next hour, Marcus worked with Emma. He removed the training wheels carefully, explaining each step. He adjusted the seat height, checked the tire pressure, and then walked beside her as she wobbled down the driveway. "I've got you," he said each time she panicked. "I won't let you fall." But eventually he did let go, and Emma rode just a few feet at first, then a few more. When she finally tumbled onto the grass, Marcus was there immediately, helping her up. "What did we say about falling?" he asked gently. Emma grinned, grass stains on her knees. "It means I'm being brave." That's right, Catherine found herself blinking back tears. When had she last spent an unhurried afternoon teaching Emma something? When had she last allowed failure to be part of the lesson rather than something to be avoided at all costs? As the sun began to set, Emma hugged Marcus around his waist. "Thank you, Mr. Marcus. Can I come back and visit you?" "Anytime you want," Marcus said. "But maybe let your mom know where you are next time, okay? I bet she's worried about you." Emma's face fell slightly. "My mom's really busy. She probably didn't even notice I left." Marcus crouched down to eye level. I doubt that very much. Moms always notice. Even when they seem busy, they're thinking about their kids. That's just how it works. Catherine stepped forward then, her heels clicking on the pavement. Both Marcus and Emma turned in surprise. "Mom!" Emma ran to her. "Mom, look! I can ride without training wheels now. Mr. Marcus taught me." Catherine embraced her daughter, then looked up at Marcus. Their eyes met, and for a moment, no words were necessary. "Thank you," Catherine said finally, "for taking the time." For being kind, Marcus shrugged, embarrassed. It was nothing. "Just a bike repair." "No," Catherine said firmly. "It was much more than that." She hesitated, then extended her hand. "I'm Catherine Morrison. I own Morrison Technologies downtown. We've been looking for someone to handle our company fleet maintenance. The contract is substantial, and we value—" She smiled. "Patience and integrity." Marcus looked stunned. "Ma'am, I'm just a small operation. I don't know if—" "I know exactly what you are," Catherine interrupted gently. "You're someone who sees a child in need and helps without expecting anything in return. That's rare. And that's exactly what I'm looking for." As they talked, Emma rode circles around them on her bicycle, her laughter floating through the evening air. Sometimes, Catherine thought, the most important business decisions have nothing to do with spreadsheets or profit margins. Sometimes they're about recognizing goodness when you see it and making sure it's rewarded. Marcus agreed to consider her offer. As Catherine and Emma walked home, Emma chattering excitedly about her achievement, Catherine made herself a quiet promise. Tomorrow she would take the afternoon off.